What is going on, everybody? My name is Dakota and welcome back to Coda's Cologne. Today we're going to be looking at and reviewing Apple Brandy on the Rocks by Kilian. This will be one of the first niche fragrances I've done on the channel, for review anyway, and I am mad at myself that I did not get my hands on this sooner. So stay tuned, join with us. We'll be back in a second. Alrighty, so this is Apple Brandy on the Rocks by Kilian. And like I said, I am so disappointed that I did not find this fragrance sooner. This is a 2021 release, toward the end of 2021, if I believe. And this fragrance is absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to go crazy showing off the atomizer just because, but highly pressurized atomizer, wonderful scent. Yeah, wonderful, sweet, boozy, a little bit of citrus. There's some fruity notes to it. To me, this is a staple fragrance that anyone should be able to have in their collection. All right, and with that being said, I'm going to spin up this bottle. We're going to get into some of the note breakdowns. Back in a second. All right, so we're going to get in the note breakdown real quick. The top notes on this are going to be cardamom and bergamot. That's going to give it some of that citry opening. And then we're going to get down into the middle notes of apple, rum, brandy, pineapple, vanilla, and moss. And that is where the infamous smell and the infamous fragrance that you're getting, it's all coming from those middle notes, blended together so beautifully well. This fragrance has been done amazingly. And then we're going to get into the base notes of ambroxan and cedar. And again, I'm surprised apple, brandy, and rum and vanilla isn't a base note, because even on the extensive dry down on this, you still smell so much of all of the middle notes that it's kind of hard pressed, because to me, when I think of a middle note, I think of something that will eventually kind of fade out, and it's not faded out. That boozy apple, sweet cedar smell is still so dominating after wearing this for so long that to me it's kind of surprising that a lot of those middle notes are still there and thriving so well. But yeah, so if you buy this fragrance, there is so much to love about this. But that is going to wrap up the note breakdown on this. I'm gonna get y'all flipped back around and we'll be at it in a minute. Alrighty, so normally I like to wait like 30 minutes after the note breakdown, but I'm not going to do that on this one because this was actually my scent of the day. This is what I've been wearing all day today. So yeah, whenever you wear this fragrance, it starts out so sweet, citrusy, and boozy all at the same time that it's almost hard to describe, other than this fragrance is just awesome. I love this fragrance. Yeah, this fragrance has a little bit of spiciness to it. It's got a little booziness to it. It's got a little fruitiness. It's very sweet. It's kind of got, it has icy undertones, which I think is what they were going for by the on the rocks part. This has a cool, refreshing nature scent profile to it. And what almost makes that dangerous is because it has some of that icy profile to it. You might think you'd be able to wear this in the summer. I would be hard pressed to wear this in the summer because of the note breakdown of it, because this isn't an overly strong fragrance, but it still has the complexity in the notes to where this might not be the first grab during the summer. But what we're gonna go ahead and get in there on that. Look at that. This bottle is the whole presentation. I love this presentation. Some people say this is tacky with some of the crystal, the line work, and everything on it. Me personally, I love this. I know I've said in other videos that I don't mind tacky bottles, that I kind of like Maverick ATH. I really like his bottle profile, just clean black tie type look. I think this actually has him beat. I love this right here. This presentation is awesome, and the fragrance inside of this presentation is even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the pricing and availability of this. So for this 50 ml bottle, full retail is going to be around the $200 mark. Discounter wise, you'll be able to slide for about 140 to 150, give or take. I actually picked mine up out of a fragrance group for exactly 100. And I've worn a little bit of this, not a whole lot, but I have worn a little. And I picked it up for exactly 100, full presentation, full everything. I've got the box up there. I kind of quit showing the boxes on the channel because It just kind of seemed like people weren't really into that, so I figured I'd go ahead and mix that out. And so that'll get us into availability wise. Availability, you probably aren't going to find this at your average retailers. Retailer wise, you're going to be limited to like Sephora, Nordstrom, places like that. I don't know that Macy's has this. I know Dillard's don't have this, so it's probably going to be more of like you're more of like your top tier fragrance retailers. And oddly enough, a lot of what I've seen, the best place to get this, if you're someone who has to have like that brand new in box feel, the best place to get this is actually Costco. I saw some people posting up that Costco was selling these for 119 for the 50 mil, brand new, and Costco guarantees authentic. And everybody that I've seen that's bought it from Costco have all said that the bottles were legit, authentic, the smell was there, everything. So if when it comes back in stock, if you're someone who wants to try this and you want that new in box, go with Costco. That's the best price by far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and segue into the performance on this. And if there was one knock I would give this fragrance, it is going to be that it is a little bit of a weak performer. The sillage on this is decent. It's not amazing. When you first spray this, in that first probably 2 hours that this thing's really doing work, the sillage is really good. But once the scent profile starts to die down, it dies down extremely quick. The longevity on this one's probably about 5 or 6 hours, and that might be with a refresh. And when I say like longevity, saying 5 or 6 hours, that's 5 or 6 hours of like sillage falling away from you, projection falling, or projection pushing forward from you. To me, when it dies all the way down to a skin scent to where you've kind of got to be laying into it, at that point, I'm someone who would say that the fragrance is kind of done, unless you're a weirdo like me and got to get a little whiff here and there. But yeah, so for me, 5 or 6 hours with a refresh, probably 6 to 8 sprays of this. And the reason I wouldn't say go any more than that is, one, this is a very expensive fragrance. And two, this fragrance is so powerful when you first spray it. That's kind of the weird part, is it loses its potency extremely quick. And that is my biggest issue with performance on this. Some of that lasting power, just for what this is, I'm surprised it's not there. And I'm not bashing on this fragrance. Scent profile wise, I would rate this fragrance a 10 out of 10. Purely scent profile, purely presentation, everything about this fragrance screams a 10 to me, except some of the performance. And because of that, I'd have to give this a realistic 9.5, only because of that performance. If the price was a little cheaper and I could get away with some extra squirts of putting this on, I'd probably still give it a 10, because the scent profile on this, again, I cannot state enough, the scent profile on this is awesome. It is amazing. That's like, once it starts to dry down, that sweet booziness that you get, that iciness that you get, that refreshing matured scent profile that this gives you is just, it's awesome. Like, that's, and I know I've probably said that word 50 times in this video, but that's the only thing I can describe to use this. And some of the much deeper dry down, like 1 hour in or so, because like I said, I've been wearing this fragrance, I'm about 5 hours in. We're pretty well to the point now on me where I'm getting some of that woodiness, I'm getting some of that cedar. The apple note is still there. It's hanging on by a thread. The rum's still there. The rum is probably the most noticeable scent on the deep dry down for me. The pineapple that's in here, I don't really pick up a whole lot of pineapple in this. I never really picked it up from opening spray till now. You can, if you really search for it, you could probably find it, but just my nose, it could be because my nose isn't trained for pineapple very well, that I don't really have a easy time picking it up. But yeah, so that's probably going to wrap up most of my video right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get in on this again. That way y'all gotta kind of get a good view on that, get a good look at the crystal and everything. Like I said, this fragrance is got a little snap lid to it. So if the apple brandy on the rocks, if this longevity matched the original apple brandy, 10 out of 10, no questions asked. So, but what can you do? All right, so that is going to wrap us up for today. As always, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for subscribing, and we will see you next time.